Welcome back to Funtastic Friday here on News Talk 93 FM. Yes, people, you know the show already, people. Funtastic Fridays from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on your FM dial. We're in the segment Talk the Ting. We discuss what really affects us, entertainment, music in the news, social issues, and more. And we get you in on the discussion segment. Just drop your comments on the Instagram Live, or you can comment via WhatsApp 876-792-3530. So currently today we're looking at what truly makes you a Jamaican. This in relation to our recent national debates for our upcoming, for our recent general election as well. When that's the leader of the opposition, Mark Golding, took out his birth certificate and said, listen me, I'm a Jamaican. So we want to find out what truly makes you a Jamaican, as Prime Minister Andrew Holness responded by saying, listen me, I'm not just about born here. You know, it's supposed to be more than that.
And you know, I just wanted to just make it absolutely clear that I am indeed born here as a Jamaican. Here is my birth certificate.
It is not your birth that makes you Jamaican. It is the choices you make for your country.
So, we're talking about what truly makes you a Jamaican. And earlier in the show, we looked at what makes you a Jamaican socially. What do you have to do or represent as it relates to your social identity? Now, that's one of the most visible ways, you know, how you dress, how you speak. You know, persons are able to identify you as a Jamaican. Second, we looked at patriotically. You know, how do you represent your country? How do you celebrate your symbols? You know, the national dish, the national flag, the national motto, out of many one people. You know, what's your pride like as it relates to your country? And do you participate in national celebrations? That's another way persons will look at you and consider you a Jamaican. And thirdly, we looked at patriotically. Are you actively considering, you know, Jamaica's interests? Are you participating in Jamaica's democracy? When we talk about the, you know, voting options, are you voting? Are you discussing your, you know, social issues in your community? Are you looking for a better community and discussing ways in which your public or political representation, your MP, your councillors, are you actively reaching out to them or at any time to, get your points across, ensure that you are doing things that will benefit the country? And are you concerned and look forward to the betterment of the country? These are ways in which we would say, yeah, you are a Jamaican. But one of the ways that truly matters is legally. So we're going to look at that right now as we consider what truly makes you a Jamaican. Now, legally, being a Jamaican is defined by the Jamaican Constitution. And it's also defined by the National Act. Now, according to the Jamaican Constitution Order in Council that was set in 1962, individuals acquire Jamaican citizenship through birth, descent, marriage, or naturalization. All right, so these are ways that legally you are considered a Jamaican: through birth, descent, marriage, or naturalization. Now let's look at these. So birth. So therefore, anyone born in Jamaica after August the 6th, 1962 is automatically considered a Jamaican citizen, and this represents legally. Now, there are exceptions to the case in terms of when the parents are foreign diplomats. For example, you know, persons from US are considered US citizens, especially when they work at the US Embassy. So two Americans working at the US Embassy have a child in Jamaica. That child is still considered a US citizen because that child, even though they are born here, they are what you call they're child of foreign diplomats. Okay, so they don't have citizen tied to Jamaica. They are tied to their country that they represent, which would be in this example the US. All right, So by birth, anyone born in Jamaica after 1962, that's August the 6th, that's Independence Day for some of you who didn't realize, is automatically a Jamaican citizen, except in cases where the parents are foreign diplomats. Simple, right? So that's one of the first steps, by birth. Second step is by descent. So children born abroad to Jamaican parents can claim citizenship by descent. So you'll hear them often on social media. You know, I wasn't born in Jamaica, but my mother Jamaican, so me a Jamaican. You know, they usually have that little off accent as well. But yeah, you can be Jamaican by descent, and that's considered a legal citizenship. By being a child of a Jamaican citizen, you will be considered a Jamaican. All right. Now, the third one that we look at is marriage or naturalization. Now, foreign nationals can acquire Jamaican citizenship through a legal process, and one of those options includes marriage to a Jamaican or residency requirements. So you have the option of being married to a Jamaican, or you can go ahead and follow the residency requirements. All right, so if you want more information on that, you can check out the Jamaican Nationality Act, and that would be Chapter 3, Laws of Jamaica. All right, so these legal provisions ensure that the definition of who is Jamaican is not only cultural but also codified. All right, and it's codified in law. So rights such as voting, working, owning property, and accessing public services are tied to this legal status. All right, so legally you can be considered Jamaican by birth, by descent, or by marriage or naturalization. All right, so, well, in that case, if that's the case, Golden says he's Jamaican by birth. We can't deny him that at this point, unless we have other information that he is no longer Jamaican, and that we're going to look into in a second. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into some comments we see on the Instagram live here. People on the WhatsApp line, remember it's 876-792-3530. That's 876-792-3530. All right, so Fiona says allegiance to the flag of the United States. Everyone bursts out laughing. Dual citizenship. You can't tell my daughter that she's not Jamaican. There you go, because she's going to say she's Jamaican by descent. Her mother is Jamaican, so she's Jamaican. And that is definitely something that we can't take from her, and we're talking about legally. Unless she is one of the options that we're looking at next. All right? So let's look at ways in which a person is not legally a Jamaican. All right? So a person would not be recognized as a Jamaican if, 1, born in Jamaica but exempt by parentage. So therefore, listen to me. If the individual is born in Jamaica but at the time of birth, one or both parents are foreign diplomats or consular officials accredited to Jamaica, that person is not automatically a Jamaican citizen. All right, so once again, I mentioned the diplomat status earlier. So these foreign diplomats, they are not a citizen of Jamaica. They're not considered citizen of Jamaica. They are foreign diplomats who still hold citizenship in their foreign countries. However, they live here because of work or representing their country. So they are not considered Jamaicans, even though they might be there for years upon years. All right, they are still American citizens. So people who work at the embassy from the US, yeah, they are still on US soil in their mindset. That US, they call that sovereign land. Yeah, so that's definitely one of the ways in which a person can be born in Jamaica but not a Jamaican citizen. So we have to go check to see was born to a foreign diplomat. So if we want to contest because, oh, I'm born in Jamaica, so I'm Jamaican. Well, there are exceptions to the rule and we have to identify those. All right, so one is being born in Jamaica but exempt by parentage, where your parents are diplomats from other countries. Number 2, you're born outside of Jamaica without descent rights. So therefore, if someone is born overseas to parents who are not Jamaican citizens, they cannot be claiming Jamaican citizenship by descent. All right? So you know, say you're born overseas, your mother and a Jamaican, your father and a Jamaican, but let's say you want to extend it to my great grandfather. No, you cannot claim it just like that. All right? Somebody has to have direct ties for you to claim it, or you can go ahead and follow the steps by marriage or by naturalization. All right? Now, number 3, let me go ahead and check out Instagram Live again for comments coming in. All right, so remember, if you're not born to persons who are of Jamaican descent, you cannot just claim Jamaican citizenship. You have to go about the steps that considers naturalization, all right, or by marriage. Fiona says, Spatter, the refugees, maybe he was born in Jamaica but migrated as a child. That's something that person's mentioned. You know, what if he has taken up other citizenship? We have to consider that as well. Let's continue to look on what would make you not be a Jamaican. Now, another way you are not a Jamaican citizen is if you fail to naturalize or register. All right, so foreign nationals living in Jamaica who do not go through the formal naturalization or registration process remains non-Jamaicans legally, even if they have resided in the country for years. That's what I'm telling you. So you can be in Jamaica for years, you can be born here, but you are not a Jamaican because you still hold on to your foreign citizenship and you have not taken on the Jamaican citizenship, or you have not been born to Jamaican citizens. All right, so these are things to consider. And 4, you can lose your Jamaican citizenship through fraudulent means. So that way, if your Jamaican citizenship was obtained through false representation, fraud, or concealment of material fact, the government may revoke or deprive that citizenship under the Nationality Act. All right? So, if you had some fraudulent documents sometime throughout your, registration, yeah, you wouldn't be considered a Jamaican. Yeah, because you're illegal. Yeah. So therefore, you can't be legally considered a Jamaican because you did not go through the steps legally. All right? So, Jamaican law provides mechanisms for individuals to voluntarily give up their citizenship. This is known as renunciation, not automatic loss. All right? So, you can be born in Jamaica, but you can give up your citizenship. You can renounce your citizenship. A Jamaican citizen who is also a citizen or will become a citizen of another country can formally renounce Jamaican citizenship. All right? So, that's what we're talking about. So, if you're born in Jamaica, but you have denounced your citizenship for Jamaica and taken on foreign citizenship, then you would no longer be considered a Jamaican. All right, so this requires applying to the Ministry of National Security and Justice and submitting a declaration of renunciation of citizenship. Now, once accepted, that person legally ceases to be a Jamaican. And Fiona says, yes, those would be undocumented immigrants who would have obtained full documentation. So we can't consider those Jamaicans, all right? Because they are not legal. Now, political allegiance to another country is one of the ways as well you can denounce your citizenship for Jamaica. So, if a Jamaican by voluntary act swears allegiance to another state, this may be considered grounds for renunciation. However, here's a little sidebar. Jamaica generally does not automatically strip citizens of their citizenship for dual nationality. Instead, it allows Jamaicans to hold more than one nationality considered dual citizenship, and that is permitted. I think Fiona mentioned that earlier. Yes, you do have the option to hold dual citizenship. So some persons might, brag about that. Yeah, I'm Jamaican, but I also have my US, visa passport, all this thing. I'm still Jamaican, I'm still American citizen. Right. You can hold dual citizenship and still be considered a Jamaican. Now, the final way in which you can lose your citizenship as a Jamaican is a revocation by government. So, under the Nationality Act, Section 8, the government can revoke or deprive citizenship if a person acquired it by fraud. Remember, I tell you, once it not go through a legal process or it's illegal, then you are not considered Jamaican. So your citizenship is gonna be revoked. If you show disloyalty or treasonous activity towards Jamaica, so if you show any type of treasonous activity, treason against your country, your citizenship can be revoked. Also, if you serve in foreign government or military force in conflict with Jamaica's interests. So these are all ways where you could be born a Jamaican and you lose your Jamaican citizenship, or you are deprived of your Jamaican citizenship. So, in other words, you are not legally Jamaican if you were born in Jamaica under diplomatic exceptions, born abroad without Jamaican parentage, or obtained citizenship fraudulently. You can also denounce or lose your Jamaican citizenship through formal renunciation, or it may be revoked for fraud, disloyalty, or treasonous activity. All right, so people, there you have it. I hope I'm able to clear the air and make you understand what it really takes to be a Jamaican, or what really makes you a Jamaican. To be a Jamaican is to live at the intersection of culture, pride, civic duty, and law. You have to have that legality behind it. Socially, it means embracing tradition and community values. Patriotically, it involves pride. It involves pride in symbols, heroes, and achievements. Politically, it calls for active engagement in democracy, and legally, it rests on the Constitution and Nationality Act that define citizenship. So ultimately, being Jamaican is both a privilege and a responsibility, one that requires individuals not only to enjoy the benefits of identity, but also to contribute to the nation's growth and its legacy. So my question is, are you truly a Jamaican? Are you qualified by law, by patriotism, by your social identity, or by your political participation? Are you truly a Jamaican? That's it. That's my point today, people. That's it for the Talk the Ting segment here today. I hope you do have, a better idea as to what makes a Jamaican a Jamaican. I hope you're able to get a bit more patriotic for your country. I hope you stir up an interest in making a difference in your community. Whether it's your home, start from your home and then to your community and then to the larger scale, whether it's the parishes or the country at large. All right? So let's all stand together, Jamaicans, in unity. Yeah? So your party might not win, but guess what? That doesn't mean you don't love your country no more. You still love your country. So you still want to represent and you still want to see what's best for Jamaica. So let's unite and let's come together and lift up the country, because we need a better Jamaica. We're getting there, so let's continue to work towards a better Jamaica. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Fiona for keeping the discussion alive. I tell you, Fiona, we need to find out how we can do this show together online. We need to bring you on as a co-host, Fiona. We're going to set up the Zoom. No worry, we still talk. I want to say big up to everybody. Congrats to all those persons who won prizes in the trivia segment. Big up to Fiona, won in the segment as well. Big up to newcomer Brampton and regular ANC. Big up to everybody. Yeah, that is good. That is good. Nation building, she says. All right, I want to say big up to the whole entire team. Big up to DJ MV Stone. Big up to Kimmie Kim. Big up to Boss Lady Bree. Big up to Adenike. Yeah, man, say school is on the way for the upcoming semester. School is about to kick off on Monday. for most persons, for pretty much the entire general population, on Monday, September morning. So, you know, people prepare yourself, look out for the traffic and them, something they don't get caught up in that. Go out early. We did an episode last week, 10 things you might forget in your back to school preparations. Go ahead and check out that video. That will help you to avoid some of the last minute rush. You have the weekend ahead. You can watch the video, get some tips, and be prepared for Monday morning. All right. So what about some music as we go to the break? Hope you guys have a safe weekend. Stay safe on the roads. This one from Albert Walden. Yeah, Ghetto Anthem. Yeah. Big up to Albert, you know, large up yourself. Fantastic Friday. Take it out with this one, you know the strips.
Ghetto Anthem, Ghetto Anthem. I'll tell you, oh, them body song in the world.